You've probably heard a lot about the importance of investing your money, but nobody really talks so much about the steps that you need to do first before you start investing. Because if you don't have the right foundation in place, your investments could really all go to waste. What's up, guys? It's Nick. Let's talk about mastering your money mindset before you start investing. So, there are a lot of options when it comes to investments, and it can get overwhelming. So, that's why I believe that it's really important to have the right mentality and habits in place. Because if you really get into the wrong investments, you could get into debt or you could get more losses than gains. So, all these 5 things that I'm going to share today, consider it as a checklist to make sure that you have all of this in order first before you really get deep into investing. If you're all about mastering your money mindset and making the right investments, then make sure that you like this video and subscribe to the channel because I don't miss out on a new video every single week. Now, let's get into those 5 things that you need to do first before you start investing. Step number 1, pay off your debts first. Okay? Okay? Okay. Sometimes there is a wrong mentality floating around there that you invest your money so that you can pay off your debts. Don't do that. Don't. Don't think that investing your money is going to solve all your money problems. It might do the actual opposite. So the thing is, if you're investing your money and you are in desperate survival mode, you are going to end up making the wrong investment. That's just how simple it is. That's why people get into scams, quick money schemes, all those pagloloko at pagbubudol sa ibang tao, yun ang nangyayari. It's because people think that, oh, I can get that much money back. Oh, I can get that back 2 times in the next week. Like, the more that it's too good to be true, it's really too good to be true, period. So if you really want to invest right, you need to make sure that all of your financial worries, all of your financial problems which come in debt need to be paid off first. Before you get into any kind of investment, may it be buying a property, getting an insurance, investing in the stock market, starting a business, you have to make sure that you are starting off with a clean slate. Parang sa relationship lang yan. If we detect someone who's very desperate, who just wants attention, you're just like, nope, no, no, let me stay away from that because that is gonna be messy. Okay? Same thing when it comes to money. If you are feeling desperate, like this investment is going to save your entire world from all your misery, it ain't it. The reality of life is that you have to make uncomfortable decisions. And those uncomfortable decisions would mean that you probably need to make some compromises first to pay off your debt so that you feel more confident that you're gonna make the right investments. That's why mastering your money mindset really is the foundation in building a good financial system. You need to put yourself in the right mindset that I just need to pay off this debt first. I just need to put the weight of my shoulders. I can trust myself better with how I handle my money. That's why I'm really passionate about how you can create the roadmap to debt-proof your freedom. And I have good news, you guys. I am announcing my free live masterclass in just a few days. So if you want early access, all you have to do is DM me on Instagram, okay? So I can give you that free slot to make sure that you have that seat reserved for you because I'm sharing all my real-time updates over there on Instagram, everything happening behind the scenes. You can even let me know what you'd like to learn from the training and things like that. So I'm posting every day in my Instagram stories. So make sure to DM me like right after you watch this video if you want to get that early access because it is dropping soon this August and you don't want to miss out on this live masterclass because now I've created this system, this debt-proof system where you can create a roadmap to fund your dreams into reality under 60 days. So make sure you follow me on Instagram and let's chat over there. Tip number 2 is build the habit of saving consistently. Because I feel like there's a misconception that investing is a one-time big time, that you put a lot of money and then maja-jackpot ka na lang later down the road and then you are all set. But the thing is, with investing, it really leverages on the power of compounding. So compounding meaning is the more that you add on to it consistently month on month, the more chances that it will really grow to your advantage. So when it comes to investing, it's a similar habit to saving. Like every single month you put aside money, every single month you make sure that there is a set amount of money that you put into your savings. And guess what? Investing is also the same thing. The same way that I built the habit of saving is also how I was able to build my investments over a long period of time. So when it comes to building the habit of saving, you have to make sure that you have that in place, because you might get into the wrong habits of investing. So when I coach my clients and they're really into investing, I need to make sure first that they have that solid foundation of being a saver, because we want to strike a balance of still being able to save consistently but also maintaining our investments along the way. So what I always say in my videos, you have to make sure that you have that emergency fund in place worth 3 to 6 months worth of living expenses first, right? Because you need to just get used to putting aside money for savings, and then you will feel ready, like, okay, I can put another percentage of my money towards investing, because nababawasan yung income mo eh. If hindi ka sanay that you put aside money for other things beside material things, besides bills, living expenses, hindi ka rin masasanay building that habit to invest. So ultimately, you need to have a solid financial system in place first, right? You know that X amount goes to your living expenses, to your bills, goes into other things, household stuff, and you also have a percentage that really goes into your savings, or you already have a solid emergency fund that you know if mawalan ka ng stable income, if mawalan ka ng income stream, then you know you have that cushion of savings to go back to. Because you want to make sure that you're already saving well, and then investments are like the next level, the next upgrade, the next step, I would say. So speaking of, you guys, I'm having a Facebook live stream session in my private Facebook group on how you can fund your freedom into reality. I'm having my mentor and my sister into this live stream, so I'm super excited about it. Tune in this Sunday, August 15, through my private Facebook group, where you can join through the link below. I actually had a fun session from my last live stream that I had, because I felt like I was able to really get to know you guys more, and also like make sure that I answer all of your burning questions over there. So make sure you join the community. Let's join the fun, and join through the link below, and I'll see you there. Step 3 is plan to set aside 10 to 20% of your income for your investments. Investing is also a habit. You need to do it consistently month on month if you want your money to grow over time, leveraging on the power of compounding. So in order to do that, you need to place like a fixed amount that you would like to set from your income, that no matter what, this is what you're gonna put aside, so that you are mentally preparing yourself na ito na talaga yung mababawas sa income mo, so that you can put that into a really good investment. So that you don't just happen to change your mind one month, parang di ka na feel mag-invest, kailangan ko na pala gastusin to para sa next iPhone upgrade ko or sa next laptop ko. No, like you have to plan right now that starting this month until the rest of the year, you can commit 10 to 20% of your income towards your investments, because this ain't a one-time commitment kind of thing. Okay, this is a long-term commitment. To help you guys out, you know that I have a free downloadable monthly expense tracker, so that you can check it out for yourself, like based on your expenses, based on the savings you can put aside, do you still have at least 10% of your monthly income that you can reserve for a future investment? And this really comes with being mindful of your expenses, knowing that you have a solid savings fund in place, because you then will be able to identify that you have this amount of money that you can put aside from your income. So the 10 to 20% is the beginner level when it comes to at least investing for your retirement fund, so that when you put your savings, it's not just dying in a bank, right? So that is in my index funds, my stocks, and also my variable life insurance, or VUL. Because trust me, when you think about that amount, you're like, parang ang laki niya. But when you think about what you just spent on Shopee, on Lazada, on whole month of Foodpanda or Grab, you realize that that amount is really small compared to feeling secured about your future, feeling secure that when you retire, you are going to be fine. You feel that you're not just saving up for today, but you're also feeling secured about tomorrow. Fourth step is think long term. Okay, so when it comes to investment, sometimes there is a myth, there is a mentality, a wrong one, I would say, that when you invest, like, when can I get the returns, the gains as soon as possible? Kailan ko siya makuha? Next month? Next year? Next 2 years? And you know what? There are some, like, let's say, I would say, high interest digital banks that you can already see like the returns from it and all that. But if you are thinking the bigger returns, then you really have to think long term. If you want bigger gains, then you have to think long term. So think as in 10 to 20 years down the road. That's exactly it, okay? Like, you just let your money grow there without you even noticing it, and then 20 years down the road you're like, oh my gosh, I have millones in my bank account. You know what I mean? So for instance, a mentor of mine shared that if you pull out all of your money right now from the stock market, like, you are really going to be in substantial loss, because right now obviously we know the economy is not doing good with the pandemic. So obviously, like, our economy is really down, which means the stock market is also going down. If you look at my stocks right now, it's negative, okay? But a wrong mentality would be like, bago pa ako malugi, i-withdraw ko na siya lahat. Okay, but if you are thinking long term, if you have that mentality, you know that 10, 20 years down the road, hopefully we know, right, that eventually this pandemic is no longer existent, right? The economy is going to improve, vaccines are gonna improve, the science is gonna help us out, which means that the economy is gonna go up again. And historically, you know, in the stock market, at least give it 20 years and there is substantial returns from it. So that's why it's really to mentally prepare yourself that this is for long-term gain if you want something substantial. Fifth step, which I feel like ties everything together, is make sure that you do your due diligence. Okay, so this means that you also do enough research, you also ask the right people, you check the right sources, you check the data. So it's not just about riding on the next trendiest thing, the one that everyone keeps talking about, you know what those are, right? Like, if you want to get into it, then be prepared for the kind of risk that you will possibly get out of it, you know? So you have to weigh both the pros and the cons before you get into investments. Like, you have to think about it both practically and logically. So for me, I started off with stocks, right? But realistically, with myself, I know that I'm not really the trader kind of type. I'm not really into buy and selling stocks. So I know that I won't be able to keep up with that. And I had to be honest with myself that that's just not my thing. And then looking into it more, I found that index funds would be more suitable for me. Index fund investing, because all you basically need to do is put in your money there and it will automatically invest on the 30 biggest public companies in the Philippines. So you know that there is very low risk, because you know that these companies have been doing well historically. Like, so I feel confident about it that I am doing it. I'm planting the seeds now so that 20 years down the road, I know that I've made the right choice. If you're into index funding, I'll link like my resources below so that you could look into that more. So as you can tell, like, everything that I talked about, all the steps, you know, ultimately it's really building the habit, building the right mindset, right? And that's why, like, this is my thing. Like, that's why I'm so passionate about coaching my clients to master their money mindset, because that is the solid foundation of everything. If you don't have that intact, if you don't have the right mentality, the right habits, the right systems in place, you won't be able to do your investments right and consistently. So when it comes to the total landscape of investments, because as I mentioned, like, there are a lot of options out there. There are tons of content creators out there talking about investments. And the thing is, that's also not exactly my passion. For me, I like getting into investments, but I'm not the channel that will talk about investment reviews, talking about the data, the ups and downs, how to compute for the different kinds of losses and highs and things like that. So I'm just fortunate that I have my dad as my mentor. So every time I talk about my mentor, it comes to investments, it's really my dad. So, you know, because I have that kind of guidance and trust when it comes to what's the right kind of investment to get into, that I take that. But if you want more investment hacks, investment tips, investment options, I will link a bunch of content creators in my description box below if you want to really understand what kind of investment you should get yourself into. Since we do have the abundance of information there about investments on properties, on stocks, on different mutual funds and things like that, I'll leave those up to them. For me, what I'm super passionate about is making sure that you have the right mindset, that you have unlearned the toxic limiting beliefs that may be preventing you from your abundance, preventing you from making the right kind of investments, making the right kind of decisions, and being more mindful of how you spend, and making sure that, day by day, you are making the right choices for your freedom and to debt proof your freedom and independence. So if you're all about that, make sure that you reserve your free slot at my live masterclass. All you have to do is DM me on Instagram so we can chat, and I could send you the link where you can sign up. I'm super excited about it because I feel like for you to make sure that you are ready to invest, you need to make sure that you're solid with your financial system and how you can really be sure that you are debt proof. So if you want to be constantly inspired, then make sure that you continue binge watching my videos right over here, because I obviously can't shut up about it. Because for me, before I started investing, it was really about making sure that I have my mindful spending journey in check. So check out these two videos and I will see you there.